What a finish in Pittsburgh as the Steelers pull themselves off the mat like Rocky in the original Rocky or Rocky 2 or Rocky 3. I assume he pulled himself off the mat in all of them. It wouldn't have been very good if he wasn't pulling himself off the mat, but that's what the Steelers did again. Mike, I said it last week. I didn't have the guts to pick them. I picked them to cover. I didn't have the guts to pick them to win. I wish I had. I've lived in and around Pittsburgh almost all of my life, and I know this team well. When you write them off, that's when they sting you. And they stung everybody on Sunday with that win over the Baltimore Ravens.
And, you know, like Rocky, when we were all standing up in the movie theater for Rocky to get up, I wonder if Pittsburgh Steelers fans were standing up in their living room watching their team be Rocky and come back into this one. Unbelievable. What was it, Ben's 39th, fourth quarter overtime comeback? I mean, we've counted, I know I have, counted this team out, saying they don't score enough. They can't do enough on offense to compete in the AFC, yet here they are. They just find a way. You know, good defense certainly yesterday. Ben making some plays in the second half. You think they're dead and gone. Defense getting after Lamar Jackson for 7 sacks. So they're that team you just can't kill. They're the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. They're the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the expectation, I guess, even when we don't think anything of it, is that they're going to find a way to be relevant.
And that, I'm looking at their record now. It's 6-5-1. And it really is amazing with all the teams bunched together. 1 week changes everything. And for them to stop the bleeding after getting to 5-3 and then falling to 5-5-1, you get to 6-5-1. All those 6-6 teams, see you later. We don't have to worry about tiebreakers, division records, conference records, common opponents, whatever. All we got to do is just have that little half game. So see you Browns, see you Raiders, see you Broncos. We don't have to get into the mathematics. We got that tie. That now of course that tie can end up that tie can end up being the thing that puts them on the wrong side of somebody like the Colts. But I just have a feeling, one way or the other, that tie against the Lions when Ben Roethlisberger ended up COVID positive the night before the game, they had to go with Mason Rudolph, and it didn't work out. I have a feeling that's going to resonate when we're having this conversation 5 weeks from today and picking up the pieces of the final seeding in the AFC.
Yeah, remember in that game that Detroit had a ball in the air in overtime on a field goal that wasn't good. It could have been a loss for Pittsburgh. Now, finally, Detroit got a win yesterday. But, yeah, so even though a tie is not the greatest thing in the world, but you're right, it can hook for you either way. You just have to kind of wait and see how it plays out. But to your point, that is where we are. Every division leader, I believe, in the AFC is sitting at 8-4. The Patriots, old Sly Bill, is a number 1 seed in the AFC right now. But it's tough to hold anything as for good right now in the NFL, right? Because you said week in and week out, everything changes. It's been an amazing year. Nobody has really I know Arizona's, the top dog over in the NFC, but nobody has really got that huge lead in either conference where they're just going to walk away with it, and we'll see in the playoffs. This is getting really, really fun between who the division leaders are, and especially with that extra spot in the playoffs now, that 7 team, of where it's going to come from and what that record may actually be for the 7 team.
And we could have had overtime in Pittsburgh, which would not have been good for the Steelers turning around, playing on a short week. I mean, when you think of the late afternoon start, if they would have gone beyond 60 minutes and then they have to play Thursday night, that really could have taken some of the steam out of them. And maybe that would have been or should have been or could have been one of the factors for John Harbaugh as the coach of the Ravens decided to go for 2 and try to steal the win instead of playing for overtime. Let's hear from Harbaugh after the game with his decision to go for 2, get the win, or, as it turned out, the loss.
What went into the decision-making to go for 2 instead of just...
Try to win the game right there. We were pretty much out of corners, at that point in time. So there's an opportunity to try to win the game right there.
And, that makes sense. I mean, if you aren't going to be able to defend the Steelers and they win the toss, it's over anyway. But I also think it's analytics driven, and they almost got it. You can't fault them for it. They almost got it. It wasn't a bad throw. I mean, it was just a little bit. Maybe, it hits those gloves. You know how those gloves are, Mike. They're like the old Velcro. They just, boom, it catch. It's right on there. It's amazing it didn't stick to the glove. But, they did what they had to do, and this is what they do. Something Mike Tomlin said after the game, and we played it on Football Night in America. The Ravens are predictable in that they play the analytics game aggressively. And that's one of the I don't want to get the analytics mafia after me. It's too early on a Monday morning. It's the holiday season. I'm extending an olive branch to the analytics mafia. But when you are, Mike, all in all the time with whatever the formula tells you to do, and you don't make your decision based on other factors, and the irony here is Harbaugh did use other factors. I don't have any corners to justify the decision he probably would have made anyway. Because Tomlin said they're predictable because they are so wedded to the analytics. And it occurred to me, the best way to be is sometimes we use a formula, sometimes we don't. You won't know until we do it. That's part of that chess game that you need to play. Because the Steelers probably assumed the entire drive, we're going to be going for two, we're going to be defending two. We're ready. We know what our play is going to be. We're ready to go because we know how the Ravens are.
Thing about it is, Mike, is I agree with what you're saying, but that play was there, right? I mean, as much as you want to say they knew it was coming and they're consistently go with the analytics, so we knew they'd go for two, the play was there. The play was absolutely there. A little more air touch by Lamar Jackson, or maybe a knock the ball up. We've seen Andrews make incredible catches before. T.J. Watt did a nice job. Listen, that play fake is supposed to take T.J. Watt down the line, right? But T.J. Watt, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to sucker that defense, that outside man all the way down the line thinking it's a run. T.J. does a nice job breaking off of that and doing the right thing. That's because why he's an all-pro player, is coming off that and saying, no, I have responsibility. That's where you try and get defenders out of their responsibility, Mike, is you kind of let their eyes take them away from what they're supposed to do. And you see that action going the other way. They're expecting that backside guy in TJ to crash down and try and get the run. But TJ playing his responsibility is what you're supposed to do. Play your responsibility. You're the outside man. You can't let anybody get outside of you. And he doesn't let Lamar get outside of him. So Lamar has to put a little something on the ball. Maybe he doesn't want to. And Mark, doesn't maybe tip that ball to himself, for the catch. So the play was there. T.J. Watt did a great job of making sure he mucked it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, it was there. A softer touch pass, a couple more inches in, and it's there. So I listen, and it didn't work. Kudos to Pittsburgh. They get the win. They deserve the win, obviously. A heck of a comeback for them. But I get what you're saying. It's kind of like they do analytics all the time. Listen, dealer has a 7 or more, and I have 16. I'm hitting every single time. It's never changing. I'm not having a gut feeling or anything. I'm hitting on 16. And Harbaugh is basically saying, if the analytics say do this, this is what we're doing.
But the twist here was, just like counting cards, he was counting his corners, and that's where he was even more determined that he was going to go for it in that spot.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.